Hello guys, welcome to Moon Eir Spirit Session live with Moon and Maria. For those who don't know Mary Magdalene, a lot of you guys probably weren't aware that she was the one talking to you guys on last Tuesday's Spirit Session with Moon and Maria. And I am going to allow her to come forward again tonight to see if any of you guys have any questions that you want to ask her like last Tuesday. So I'm going to allow Mary to come in again. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask her. Other than that, I will be pulling in spirit up to 3 souls. A lot of you seem to think that there was something wrong with me last Tuesday. There was not. It was not me. It was Mary Magdalene speaking to you guys through the live. The last Tuesday before that was Mary, Queen of Scots. These are all my higher consciousness souls of life here on Earth. For those of you who aren't aware of the past lives that I had endured, those are just 2 of the many. And for the last couple Tuesdays, they have shown themselves to you guys to communicate with loved ones, to get answers for things that you want to know about. And that is why the lives seemed somewhat different. And I just noticed I am not plugged in. Now you guys can probably hear me. So I'm going to allow Mary Magdalene to come in again this week. I had a lot of stuff to do today, so she didn't come early. So I'm going to allow her to come in tonight to be with you guys. So if you have questions for Mary, let's pull those questions in now. Am I parenting right or being too much of a friend? Jody, I ask if you reverse the roles of your interaction with your daughter, how would you want to be treated? Would you want more conclusive direction? Or would you want more of someone you can talk to openly and have a sanctuary of a place at home to discuss things openly? Again, there's no right or wrong in the direction of parenting. It's more holding true the golden rule of how would you want to be treated as a soul? Would you want conclusive direction or someone to talk to, or both? Why does there have to be a middle? Why does there have to be one spectrum and another spectrum? Why can't there be a balance of the two? Sarah Fink. I'm at a loss lately as to help my autistic son with whatever's going on. Sarah, I'm seeing a lot of boredom and a withdrawal because there's an emotional imbalance. If you adapt him to new environment, more engaging things to distract the mind from boredom, you may see a more balanced, harmonious response. Carol Ashley, do our spiritual gifts come and go at different phases of our lives, or do we sometimes unknowingly block them? Spiritual gifts do not come and go. However, the physical self, that which is the opposite of the spiritual self, will sometimes redirect energy where it cannot be obtained. So the physical self sees this as a blockage, when truly the spiritual self simply wants to learn something else along the way. You may come back to spiritual gifts at any point in time if you can remove the physical ego from this way of thinking. Kimberly Tovis, the children that are being born in this new pandemic era, what special gifts will they have? I feel like my son is a lot different than most kids his age. Children of the third processing procedure into this world have gained extra enforcing tools to bring about this world to an evolutionary period. As your world awakens to this new higher calling, you will all, as a mass immigration, cross to new planetary and cosmic dimensions, where there will not be any longer traumatic reborns of learning, which you call reincarnation. As a mass immigration, your race will elevate to new heights as a mass collective, to new consciousness on other planetary evolutions. But your world must first awaken to this possibility. Lindsay Ann, how can I finally get over anxiety and fear that rules me? Fear and anxiety is a disease on your world. This frame of mind cultivates as it's called upon. For anxiety and fear to be removed, one must understand the mind frame they place themselves in. Understanding that you can rise above these thoughts and create a new path of mindful thinking. Simply breathing through the fear and understanding that it is a disease that you need not cultivate within your mind frame is the first outcome to this rule. Rising above these thoughts will take back control of the path that you want to cultivate. Tiffany Duffy, my oldest is always getting into trouble at school because he wants everyone to love and notice him. It makes my life disastrous. I want to speak on this first part with you. Why does his actions create a mindful set of disastrous pattern? A child that seeks love and wanting attention is not receiving a harmonious balance where it's most needed. Trying to put this child in a mind frame that is all else others will not work. What I mean by this is placing the child in a passionate, driven mindset that will cultivate his talents. And the reason I use the word cultivate so much tonight is because it's a primal word that your race needs to understand fully. Cultivation is action. It is adapting. So when you see your child acting this way, what can you place his mindset in to show him that his passions can override full seeking attention? It is not about making him see that he is truly enough, because deep down his soul already knows this, and for you to place upon him a darkness within his future. You have already confirmed that his path will not longer go any further. This mind frame is already disastrous. Seek light above darkness within a future, for you are setting an intention for that path. By simply thinking that his future is already solidified in darkness, you are setting an intention for him to go that way. Patricia Zona. Has my father, Dad, been with me since he died? The energy you seek is not around you, but within inside of you. He has gone physically, but not psychologically or spiritually or emotionally. Everything is within the mind. If you seek your father, you will find him, not in the physical, but now in the spiritual. It is calling to him mind to mind, telepathy to telepathy. Darcy Adams. What do I think this world is now compared to when I was here on Earth? I see great advancements for your world. I see much possibility. However, I see great anger, shame, and fear that spreads like a virus and touches upon even the ones that are awakened. This has concerned us greatly in source energy. We've talked much on this topic in great detail. But we know with great strides and wondrous, magical, and mystical energy as it surrounds you, as we are all with you, your world will grow to great evolutionary strides. Your world is not meant to end, but to continue on so that it must combine and understand and know its neighbors within the rest of the universe. Do you wish to know your friendly neighbors within the cosmos? And when low energy convinces you that these events will not happen, how do you change your mindset to elevate above that low energy? You must envision your future towards that accomplishment. When dark seeks to bring you down, close your eyes and put your mind to higher lengths and higher vibrations. This is all mindful energy. Mindful energy that will take you places you've never known you could go. Understanding the path that your mind can take will take you out of this world and its low vibration. And it will also bring an intent of full positive energy around you. how would you recommend the best way to share your words? I don't quite understand your technology. Technical equipments, or how they process and network. But I know that spreading good words and good cheer to elevate one's life, soul, and heart will come completely from your own heart. If you come to someone in love, they will be more accepting of hearing and listening to those words. On the forefront of electric devices or technology, that will be your free will to share what is being said here today. Again, I do not understand how these things work or what you may need to do. I don't know the right words to express in the sense of this matter. Lisa Jones Veritek. Is the world starting to awaken? On the timeline that you currently are progressing towards, the awakening has already begun. You are a few years into this, almost 8 to 10 years close. You have a few ways to go. I cannot stress the percentage or the length of time because that will be up to your race to progress slowly or quickly. But my job here today is to open your eyes to new knowledge that is undesirably obtained through different means. Not everyone is open to this kind of communication. So I come to you in love today to provide the answers you seek. Jody Sheets. I always felt a strong connection with Mary and Jesus. I thank you both for being in my life. Jody Sheets. We have always been in all of your lives. When you think of us, you call us in, or we are already around you, placing those thoughts in your mind. If you seek our guidance or wish to have our energy placed in your life, it is simply pondering on those thoughts, and we are there. We wish you safe haven and great love in your lives. Carrie Jaber. How can I get out of my mentality abusive relationship? If you seek to raise your vibration above low abusive chemical reactions, it will take the few steps you need to take in the direction to go about that. But you must also want that path. By simply asking this question, you teeter-totter on the answer. You know you must walk in the direction of more positive pathways, but you claim comfort and confirm yourself in the abuse. You are the only one that will need to make the decision that you have finalized that lesson. Do you wish to stay a third grader in a fourth or fifth grade? A child in the third grade will not learn at fourth or fifth grade because of the environment they are in. The environment still pushes out a third grade lesson. Only when they go to the fourth or fifth grade dimension of learning will they succeed in understanding that learning because the environment it is placed upon them. A third grade cannot progress to fourth or fifth grade unless they understand the environment around them that succeeds that energy. I hope you understand what I mean by this. The environment you place yourself in is the one you will learn from. You cannot place a third grader in a fourth or fifth understanding of environment because they will not succeed in that environment. Once the third grader goes into fourth grade and is placed in the fourth grade environment, will they understand the lessons that they need to overcome? Graduation is upon you all. Your evolution and soul graduation is coming soon. So, knowing this, do you wish to elevate into graduation? Or do you wish to stay in the third grade, within the third grade room? Mary Yates. Is Lexi going to be okay? You and Lexi have soul ties to both Yvonne and Moon. Moon, on the other side, is confirming that Lexi is being cared for carefully. Her path is of greatness and oneness with Source. Believe in the elevation of her growth. To give in to fear is giving in to the disease that takes over this world. You must bring your mind frame into the intent you want to take place, not the one you think will take place. Darcy Irene Adams. If God is calling my mom soon to go home with him, I am saddened to say that I cannot give this information out to you. The universal policy law prevents me and Moon and any reader upon this world to give such guidance. Her soul contract will expire when it is meant to. Your focus should not be on the passing, but on her living moments here on earth. Cherishing every second you're provided and allowed to have. Upon her passing, you will be grateful for those moments. To usher in a homecoming without the conception of cherishing the moments before a homecoming will make the homecoming come quicker. Understand the cherished moments and let go of the fear of going home. Kathy Marie. I feel like I'm just existing and not truly living. I just feel lost. I find that many of you are in this typical mind frame. And I speak on the mind frame for it is your database and it creates your environment and outcome. When you feel like you're simply existing, perhaps it is because you're in resting. You're still resting before something extravagant takes place. When you are feeling lost, it means you need direction. So it's going inside yourself, within your mind frame, and understanding what gives you passion. Is it gardening? Is it cooking? Is it being with your grandchildren? Is it drawing? Is it music? Or is it creating videos for others to watch and enjoy? The simplest of things can make you feel unlost. You don't have to be a president to feel like you're existing. The tiniest of ant has the most important jobs. Janet Crawford. Are we co-creator of our life? In other words, we create the good and the bad. For you come from both directions of learning. Within this realm, yes. In other realms, you may learn from both as well. In other realms, you may learn from only one. But within this realm, you get a choice to choose good from bad, or you get to choose both. It will be up to you to understand and walk those paths of good or bad. What and which gives you the most pleasure, or gives you the most understanding of joy and happiness? I would hope your answer would be good, even though great good outcomes do come from bad paths. Jenny Vargo: sometimes I feel I can't express what I hear from Moon to truly share what is being said, and I lack in making more people aware of teachings and truth. Your first mistake is trying to force a teaching on souls that are not ready to understand those truths. When you find yourself in the path of Moon, Maria, Yvonne, and myself, as well as higher source love, it is you the one who is learning. Not every path is meant to be shared. If you feel you need to share, then express it in your own way. Take what she is teaching and adapt it to your own sense of self. And perhaps the ones around you will listen better. When you try to be someone you're not, it is hard to dictate and understand. When you are yourself and you express those experiments or events or paths in your own way, the others around you will stay listening longer. Natalie Odom Corley: since the beginning of the year, I am losing people all around me. At least one a week, it seems. Senseless actions and sickness in general. Natalie, the first understanding that needs to take place within your mind is that not all souls are meant to stay in one's life. Each experience that you endure is meant to teach you something important. Once that learning is taken place and you graduate from that learning, you are to move on and vice versa. Not all souls are meant to stay within this realm, but move forward. Perhaps it is because they graduated from this learning, or they decided not to stay for the learning became too hard. And for that, we wish them well. We thank them for being here, and we grant them access to new realms of understanding. Ones where there is not as much heaviness and aching pain being contributed to their learning. Jody Riggs: how do I keep a strong faith in God when He hasn't come through on anything I've prayed for? Jody Riggs: the first concept you need to understand is your own soul's contributing factors to your own soul's lessons. For you are the one who came up with your own soul contract of learning. Many souls here decide to play a role of toughness. They do not want to waste their time coming to Earth for frivolous antics. They decide to take on heavy aspects of learning, for it accelerates their soul's enlightenment and takes them to different planes of existence. This life you are in is but a fracture, a tiny, tiny fracture of the many lives you had and will have to come. It is not that God is not listening or giving you what you want. It is the fact that you are to change the energy around you to what you want. He is simply accepting the fact that you chose to come here, allowing you, his child, his creation, to come here with the rest of your brothers and sisters. He is giving you permission to be the child that takes their backpack and decides to go on a world tour instead of going to college. As much as he didn't want this path for you, he allowed it as a sombering father for you to go on your merry way and learn as you want to learn. Getting mad at him is not the best choice, but rather looking inward and understanding the choices you are making yourself, the environment you're placing yourself in, and the people you surround yourself with. If you are understanding this, then you understand that your strong faith should be within yourself and the path that you choose to take and with the people you choose to take it with. Carol Ashley, I hope you know how much we appreciate you coming to us this way and how much we love you for it. Carol Ashley and the rest of those who are watching, I thank you for coming today to listen to me speak and allowing my energy into your homes and your sacred spaces. And I hope that the words spoken today will be of comfort and joy to your lives. The higher realms, your family, is here to embrace you. We are your family, and we will always be around you. You are never lost or alone. We surround you with great strength. Even in times when you think you are alone and weak, we are the ones helping build you back up. Rena Foster, can a person become their divine self and leave their ego self while living a life on earth? This is an absolute confirmation, for many who have come to earth have over-exceeded the self-ego learning, and if they can do it, so can you. Jesus is one profound leader that had accepted that path, learned from it, and excelled past it. Look upon these leaders, these teachers and mentors for your advice column and read upon their journeys and how they accomplished it. You have history for a reason. Look upon the past for research, but not absorption. The planet Moon comes from does not absorb their past, but look upon it as a memory of research, and you can do the same. Sharon tweet, are we moving the whole Earth to the fifth dimension and bringing our physical with us for the first time in humanity? Shannon, this is difficult for me to express, but I will try my best in helping you understand within your mind what I mean. There is a world that is similar to yours. It is a physical third dimension world, but the beings on the planet are of fifth dimension, spirit dimension. There is a reason why you are seeing more spirits around you as you elevate to their level of understanding and learning, their consciousness. When you exceed to this dimension as a collective migration, you will understand that the third dimension can still be utilized. I apologize. My language will sometimes seep into your language on Earth. So I hope you can understand my words. Think of your third dimension with all its physical, meaningful manatees. Incorrect. Materialisms. With all its materialisms. And you are walking around in spirit, utilizing that third dimension. For someone in the third dimension coming upon a planet such as this, they would think that the planet is riddled with ghosts or spirits. For this is not correct. It is simply the fifth dimensional beings utilizing a third dimensional plane of existence. It will come off from a third dimensional onset that the planet is riddled with spirit. But really, that dimension is of energy source, spirit, that has a opalesque outframe of a human. Your physical will start to diminish or lessen in heaviness and weighing down. I hope you can understand what I mean by this. Philip Brandel, are you still with Jesus? I am always with him, and so are you. What do you think of the Catholic Church of today? It is not the Catholic Church that I have the issue with. It is the people that established it in order to manipulate and misguide an entire race of beings. For these things are falsified and faked. Jesus came to your world to teach you not religion, but a true path of understanding the soul, understanding the spirit. He did not teach you a way of ritualistic rhymings and ritualistic methods. He simply spoke from his heart and brought the knowledge of his mind with him. Understanding that the mind is the soul's database of collected ancestral knowledge and obtained experience through many lives. Allison Eccles, thank you, Mary, for your loving words. I am so sorry for this world's harshness upon your soul. Excuse me for 1 minute. Can I get glasses?
What kind of glasses?
The body can't see the words.
I can find them.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Allison Eccles, you were and are so much more than they programmed us to believe. I am learning so much more about you and your earthly family. I just want to say I am so sorry for what was done and said to you. It hurts me to know how much that had to hurt you, but you have given us a beautiful lesson on how to handle such situations, and I am so grateful for your teachings and examples. My heart reaches out to this statement, and I understand that many are understanding who I truly am and my redemption upon your world. For these things are frivolous to me. My life had meaning, and that is simply that. What others say means nothing. For deep in your hearts you already know who I am, and you know the truth behind who I am. For these things are frivolous, and I have no thoughts further on it. So your worry and sadness is meaningless in this matter, for it needs to enlighten, and I thank you for your words. But we must all enlighten above the low frequencies of the souls of those low frequencies that choose to seek words of intent to bring a soul down instead of bringing them up. Allison Eccles, my heart reaches out to you, and I thank you for these words. And I appreciate your heart's matter in understanding my pain, if I had pain in this matter. So I thank you for the intent of wanting to be there for me. Rhonda Abels, how do you feel about New Earth? Your world calls it a new Earth. We simply call it an elevation to new consciousness, to new vibrational understanding. Do not think of it as a new world, but a new mindset to look forward to understand that you have a new way of thinking coming to you, a new understanding. If I can put this in an example, I would say that you would go from someone who is a greeter at a local grocery store to becoming an Einstein. This is the simplest example I can give on an earthly plane of existence as to where you are to excel. It is not so much a new earth, but a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing, a new way of hearing, and a new way of sensing. Nicole Dunnigan, I needed that. This is my birthday gift to listen to you and be with you all today. I'm being told that Earth celebrates birthdays in an enchanting way and in different ways. In heaven, we see it more as an enlightened activation to Earth's acceleration. Your birth is celebrated amongst all celebrations in heaven. You may celebrate here on Earth, but it is also celebrated in heaven. Not on the exact day, but it's a vibration that flows through source energy for all to feel on magnitudes of vibration. Your birth activated energy. All of your births activated energy that was brought to Earth for its acceleration and progression. Janet Crawford, as we have been taught, did Jesus die on the cross for mankind? Once again, your world programs you to think and doubt. Your brother chose a path that would lead him to redeem your karmatic learning. Souls on Earth at that time were being filtered through birth after birth after birth without the understanding of the soul's learning. This means you are never going back to heaven and understanding the life you just came from. You are being filtered through from birth to birth to birth without the knowledge and understanding of who you were being born into or what energy you were to learn. This is why the consciousness and the understanding of mankind was so low, as if talking to toddlers. A toddler that gets angry will take it out on another, or will take it out on an animal. This is seen time and time again on your world. This is what those souls did. Murder after murder, control after control, animal killing after animal killing. It wasn't until Jesus took the path he chose, crossed over, and defended your honor against low frequency that had stolen the way and path to heaven. He regained that path for you. And now you are able to go back to heaven and review each life at your own pace. And then choose a life to go back into, whether that is Earth or another plane of existence. To answer your question, he did more than just pass away from your world. He saved your race and other races like yours. Laura Maxwell, the question you ask I have no meaning for that is not my language. That is something that Moon can better understand, for she has the cosmic call to all realms. Lisa Dowd, again, confirming this answer from before. Can you confirm that these are the end times? This is incorrect. The human race is in an elevation stage of shifting and will enlighten to that stage upon all awakenings. Again, migrating cosmically to a higher vibration of understanding through conscience calling. This is a programmed misconception through a religion that was manipulating a race for centuries upon centuries. And there is no waiting for the return of Jesus, for he and his consciousness is already upon you. Inez Henry, how was traveling the countries to help Jesus learn to be a healer and teacher? Jesus had already endowed these attributes, for he was teaching rabbis at age 9 and 10. They listened to him. He gained and obtained more knowledge through all of his past lives and all the dimensions he traveled and experienced. He would like to speak to you now. The travels were interesting. I got to meet many dynamics of different souls. It was interesting to him to see how the different souls were learning and growing within that time and era upon this place of a planet. He compared many of the experiences to different planes of existence he's already been on. And he simply just knew how to adapt to their learning so that he could get his point across. It was hard for many of them to understand, but he said with a few minutes they quickly understood what I meant. He enjoyed how their faces would go from somber to sorrow, from sorrow to enlightenment, enlightenment to enjoy. And he enjoyed most greatly, as they walked away from his teachings, that they actually adapted it to their lives, where they really didn't have to. He was grateful for the opportunity to touch each life he came in contact with. The healings to him were extra special, and he felt better upon doing them, even though the physical vessel had trouble obtaining the energy within it, his soul. So he became greatly tired from each healing. But he pushed on by doing hundreds of healings daily. He felt the more he healed, the better the world would be. The greater the teachings would accelerate, and the healings would activate those teachings. These two things go hand in hand. Even now, he brings healing to most lives, even though the souls here aren't aware of this. He blesses every soul contract he comes in contact with. Not all souls have asked for his help, but a good portion of this world he helps. He chuckles and says he's in competition with Moses, Joan of Arc, John the Baptist, and of course God, but he chuckles at this. For we are all one source, and we are all one like mind. This is his way of making a joke, for he is always childlike. And yes, coming to heaven is like going to Disney. Again, he chuckles. We make it extra special for the children crossing. We help them understand where they are by joy and fun activities. And once they understand where they are, their perception will change and they will fully understand their soul's calling back home. Yvonne, would you like to ask him something? He may also be answering you. He bows his head to you with his heart on his chest, and he says everything will be okay. All is playing out as it should. Do not have a sorrowful heart. For you are loved, and all those you love, he loves. Please do not cry, my child. For I am with you, and I hear you, and I understand the path you are to take. And I confirm to you, all will be well. Trust in the paths that are taking place, and call upon me for strength when you need it. I will come running the second you call. He thanks you for being his sister. He said you came here with a backpack full of trauma, but you also came back with full of talents. In your big pocket of your pack is your traumas, and in the front pack is all your talents. He says your talents outweigh your traumas, and you will always use your talents to overcome traumas. Do you understand? I see many asking what your life purpose is. And your purpose is what you make of it. There is no magical wand that waves and enchants you a purpose, for you came here with a purpose of learning. If you aren't happy with the purpose you've chosen, it's simply switching the purpose to what you do want to learn. Those of you who are asking if you have gifts or if you are from somewhere else, again, Moon is going to be your best assistant. She is cosmically called to answer these questions and she will help you to her best advantage. These gifts are her own, and she will take strides in helping you succeed in your lives, and she will do all she can to make that happen. We have sent her here to be somewhat of a selfless being. She has her own life of learning, but she will make strides and move ways to help you with yours. Nicole Cotier, will there be a day when we're not killing and eating animals? Absolutely. This day will come, but is not now. Your world is still in the infantile, immature understanding of learning. They are still in the 2nd to 3rd grade. We are trying to elevate you to an understanding of 4th and 5th, and possibly 6th, if you have the gumption and stride to make it to that length. It will be up to your race as a mass to get to that point, slowly migrating towards that evolution. Chan Ki Te, did Jesus sacrifice himself in other planes too, or just in Earth? This is something he will need to answer personally, for I do not have access to those lives. His answer is, we all at some point sacrifice ourselves in the honor to help others. If you come from source love, you will sacrifice in most lives. If you choose to do so, if you are to be of service to others. This world has placed Jesus on a pedestal, but he sees himself as a service of teaching to those who needed teaching. He does not see himself on the pedestal, but rather standing among you, sitting and eating bread with you, talking and listening to your problems, and guiding you the best way he can. Placing him on this pedestal keeps him out of reach for you when he is your brother and he is your friend. And for that he loves you. And do you not want to talk to your brother? Do you not want to talk to your friend? Lean on him and understand his sacrifices are your own, and vice versa. You are both the same and one. Laura Maxwell, how much of the Bible has been altered and withheld from us? Practically the entire thing, for it was created from a religion, and through that religion gained control of the soul and the soul's mind. Some of the stories are true, but this is only because they were able to obtain some of these stories, but had altered them in a way that was beneficial to them. Yes, the wedding in the Bible is my wedding to Jesus. But the alteration was the exemption of our names. They did, however, put the wedding in the Bible. And whoever did this didn't understand the Jewish and Hebrew concepts of a wedding. So the person at the end of the ceremony who poured the wine would be the husband. And the husband is named Jesus. However, they exempt and withheld the fact that he was the husband. And for this, they altered that story to their benefit. Brittany Woodard, how do we deprogram in order to grow spiritually? It is simply deprogramming that which you have been taught, and programming that which you want to learn. Understanding that fact, you will simply change your perspective of what you are seeing in front of you. And spirituality is simply a concept of the soul. It's not so much spirituality, it is spiritual evolution and growth within the soul's understanding. Carissa Joy, why do I always see Mother Mary as my higher self? Understand that in heaven, There is a way for you to obtain and learn soul understandings. This means that you can watch and observe a soul's life from beginning to end and on. And by obtaining that data and that knowledge, you are imprinting the soul with that life. We do not see an importance as to who led the life, but simply what you are learning from the life. And in that frame of mind, you are actually obtaining the life as your own. You, your soul, as Carissa Joy, coming to Earth, obtained the knowledge of Mother Mary's life here on Earth. And for that you see her within yourself as an imprint from the database of learning. This does not mean that you are Mother Mary herself or that you led that life, but simply that you imprinted that life to learn from it and adapt that life to here. It is simply like going to school to be a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. To become the lawyer, you must have the reference knowledge to be the lawyer. This is simply an imprinting to be a lawyer, the learning that brings you to that status. It is the same for you imprinting Mary, Mother of Earth, her life onto yours. And for this, you can call upon her for extra help in understanding a lesson that maybe you didn't fully understand in her life. But the reason for the imprint and why it took so strong is because you wanted to adapt her lessons of learning within your life. You may see quite similarities going on. And this is for that reason. Janet Crawford. How can I forget someone so I can move forward with my ascension? I feel this loss had stopped my ascension and destroyed me. Janet Crawford, what you don't understand is you cannot forget someone, for they brought something to your life to learn. Simply forgetting the lessons they learned is not at your benefit. But however, you must understand the lessons that you learned, and then not absorb the trauma, but more observe the trauma that brought you to the lessons. Those lessons are part of your ascension. It is not meant to destroy you, but bring you to a higher strength and understanding. Again, you cannot simply forget someone. These people come into your life, these souls take on the responsibility to teach you something and vice versa. This learning is up to you. How you perceive it is up to you. And from your question, I see that you perceive it in a negative way rather than a positive way. And understanding that that lesson is to bring you to an ascension of positive pathways. Diane Bowman. Will the hatred we have for each other change? Absolutely. But it will be the soul's perception to make that change. Many on your world right now are very angry and frustrated by the energy being placed. But this energy needs to take place in order for this world to elevate. The program that they've been under is dissipating and they don't know what to do. They don't understand how to be. They feel lost and don't understand where to go. So they lash out like children in anger because they are frustrated. If you can understand that your brothers and sisters have been in a timeout by a mean parent, and comfort them and tell them to come out from the corner and embrace them in love, you may see the hatred being lifted. They are simply hurt by the program that's been placed here. And we, as their real parents, their real brothers and sisters, are trying to remedy and give a solution. We are trying to take them out of the corner of the program. Do you understand what I mean by this? The program is the corner, and they've been sitting in the corner for centuries. And we, their real parents, not the adoptive one that was placed here on Earth, are trying to take them out of the corner and put them through therapy for the trauma that has been placed upon them from lifetime to lifetime, coming to this world. Carol Wesser, what is the one true religion? Your world places a religion on it, for there is no religion. There is no politics. There is no division or separation. This world learns from separation, and through separation you feel lost and want to belong to something, and so forth, a religion was created. It does not mean that it's real, or that anyone should follow anything. You know in your heart and within your soul which direction to go. If you want to learn from a religion, it's simply learning from that religion, obtaining that knowledge within your mind's database, and taking it to heaven with you to digress and understand. But you do not have to choose a religion, but rather choose your higher self within source energy in connection to God's source of love. Darcy Adams, why do some say Jesus' name, really Joshua? I may have spelled that wrong. There are many names that were given to Jesus along the way. Again, going back to a religious database of taking sacred stories and altering them to their benefit, which is why his name was never fully corrected, and why there's so many names given to him. Because whoever came up with the concept of your Bible mixed up a lot of concepts and miscommunications, which gave Jesus many names. Tony, is the devil real? A concept manifestation of low frequency energy has been placed as an intent upon human understanding and learning. This was a fear and tactic used by higher authority to control others. If you do this, you will be punished. But an unconditional loving God would never do this. However, there is another form of another God, a polarized version of a good God. I believe Moon did an entire video on this concept for you. Yvonne, will you remind her to post that? The good and bad God. Yes, the good and bad God. The more negative version of the good God was separated in the cosmos, and the bad God felt that he was the only God and started creating negative aspects of your race and other races. Most of those races we have corrected, and we are here now correcting yours. I hope you better understand this by the form of the video Moon had created for you. And I wish for her to post that for you at a later time. Marilyn DG. Will humanity ascend to the timeline where we escape to the grips of those who currently run the program system? That race has been here for millennia, even before your race had been created here, or rather brought here. Your race was brought here and created another frequency of learning. The race you speak of, the programmed system that grips your human race will be taken off this planet, finally and for good. This is part of the programming you were part of, and your great ancestors have been a part of for millennia. You will escape their grip upon their dispatcher. Again, my language may come into the English language, and I may say things that don't resonate with your language. So once again, that race will be removed ultimately from the human race, so that the human race may thrive to the next level of consciousness and understanding. Janet Crawford, what is Moon doing right now as you are here with us? She is amongst her son in his energy, as well as Jesus and other family. She is with higher source and higher consciousness of her Yvonne, whom she considers to be her full mother. Yvonne is here with me in the present, but her higher self is with Moon, assisting. When we come in to speak with you, her choice of enjoyment is to be with her son. Upon her arrival back to you, you may ask her the questions I could not answer, for she has that expertise in that cosmic connection. Carol Wesser, is there a bad God and not devil? Is there hell? There is a perception of intent that a soul can place themselves in, which your world considers a hell. If their perception feels that they deserve to be in this place, they will place themselves there. For this is their free will of learning. I apologize again if my language comes into your language and a miscommunication takes place. Let me rephrase it again. A soul, when it crosses over the threshold to the other realms of existence, can place themselves in a perception of a heavy burden from Earth's learning into a perception of a type Earth hell concept. This does not mean that this place is real. It is a place for a soul to take on as a lesson of learning. I hope you understand this. I also hope you understand that no soul can go or will go to a hell-like place if they understand God's true love. And many of you don't take the time to truly understand who God is and who He is to you. Understanding that He is of unconditional love will place you simply in that love when you understand His full capacity of love. He understands that a soul chooses to learn, and when they place themselves in this perception, He understands that eventually, at some point in time, your earth time, they will see the light and the love that has been with them the whole time, and they will pull out of this perception they place themselves in, and they will see the truth around them. This delusion, or your earth's type of illusion, can be placed in the mind if it so strongly feels it deserves to learn from it. Angie Boyer, what about humanity surprises you or saddens you the most from your original time? I feel Jesus took the time to learn from your race and do what he could to teach you. His activation had elevated you past the conceptions that had been placed upon your world. What saddens me is that there is still holdbacks upon your world, even from that time. His activation was so grand and great that it changed many lives and beyond. But I still see within your world, upon this time era and this timeline, what saddens me the most is the hate for your own brothers and sisters. And understanding that when you cross and go into the realms of consciousness that exist around you now and will always be around you forever, and understand that that anger does not exist in that world, and understanding that you cannot take it with you when you cross. So why not understand truth and love within this realm, and understand that when you leave, those concepts cannot continue. The hate and anger of concept that you learn from here. This will take a lot of understanding in the souls that are still understanding third dimension learning and lessons. Jody Riggs, when we die, what happens? Your soul is elevated to many, many realms, and you may choose to learn and continue to learn from different realms, or you may choose to come to this realm and learn continued lessons. But upon death, as the physical body lets go of the soul is then embraced by light and love, as well as past family lessons learned. This means the family you knew here will surround you, but you will also have an understanding of who they are to you in past lessons learned. Then, upon that, you will understand the full length of your learning here, and all the paths that you could have taken and did take. Many decide to come to Earth for extensive learning. This learning is harsh and hard, but it is worth the learned data in the end. Crystal Rickenbaugh. Is there a bloodline of Jesus? 3 children of his. This is correct. There is more than 3. There is 5. You may be thinking of the 3 boys and 2 girls that we had together. And the bloodline continues on in your world. That activation is upon your race still. For we did this to keep the energy going and to continue on. When we die, do we know we're dead? Can we see our body? Where do we go? Upon crossing and leaving the body behind, most souls understand when they see the body what has taken place. There is a few and far between who believe that they are not dead, and who will linger between plateaus or planes of existence, and we assist those souls in understanding what has taken place. They are not left or lost to us. We embrace them and collect them into our world of existence. Michelle Carlini. Can we work on our DNA to help our ascension through intention? You absolutely can and are able to do this already. It is simply closing off your mind to all frequencies that block or bring you down, and understanding that activation and download are a consistent happening and part of your world. You will constantly be activated and download with more information every single day. This does, however, take its toll on the body and will cause health symptoms This is why we stress that you rest the physical body when it is having these heavy downloads. The reason for the Ascension downloads is to bring your world up, not down. It is to help you understand where you need to go and why. Without the DNA Ascension downloads, or the intent to activate, you would be lost within the third dimension, and you would not see clearly in the fourth dimension we've placed around you. And this takes me back to the mentioned study of third dimension going into a fourth dimension understanding. The third child, or the third grade understanding into the fourth grade. The third grader child will not understand a fourth grade understanding in the environment the fourth grade is learning. It must go back to the third grade and be in the third grade environment to better understand. I hope this clears up your question. Janet Crawford, do the descendants of yours know that they come from you? There is an activation within each soul that yes, they come from a bloodline of Jesus and me. They understand what they need to do on earth and why. That activation at some point in their life will signal and let them know, as if it's being downloaded from a dossier paperwork document. It will be known, and the second they will know what to do. Nancy Fisher, can we heal our physical bodies ourselves? Absolutely. And Jesus taught this in all his teachings, that you, your mind, your soul's database, can physically change and manipulate the energy it is in. This is the reason you are here on earth, to learn how to manipulate energy. To learn that you can rise above the control aspects and programming this world, and the many who placed upon it within your world can rise above. It is simply allowing your mind to speak to your body. Allow it to listen, and you will at times be forceful in your intentions. Michelle Carlini, question about energy healing. Can Reiki really heal a person? If the intention of the person doing the healing has the intent to control and manipulate energy and connect to energy healing from source love, then yes, a healing can take place. But the person healing must have these attributes within them in order to heal the person they're trying to heal. Jesus demonstrated this many times over. Phyllis Delaney, where does RH negative bloodline come from? It comes from I want to get this correct. It comes from an accelerated activation DNA extra strand line that was placed in certain souls upon their arrival here to activate and accelerate Earth's energy. I have enjoyed your company today, and I thank you for allowing me to speak to you. The body is getting weary, and my soul is too much for the vessel to handle. So I will be leaving now and allowing Moon to take over this discussion. I will answer one more question that I just seen. Carol Wasser, with respect, I'm having a difficult time with your explanation of evil. I think of Hitler, Mussolini, Putin, and just can't imagine a soul asking to be them. And I hope this makes sense. These souls chose to learn from the negative God, the opposite of the good God. Again, this post will be posted for you at a later time, and it may help you to understand the explanation I've been giving. A good energy and a bad energy separated and polarized itself within the cosmos. The negative energy didn't realize it was not alone. And for this, it started creating out of its own negative energy mind frame, which then placed a good and bad energy upon your race. This is why you have certain souls who are of Hitler nature, Putin nature, or whatever nature you are used to learning. And the opposite end of the good-natured God, you have Princess Diana, or you have Jesus, or you have Buddha. A good and bad lesson of learning. Both aspects are placed on your world to learn from, which is why many souls choose to come here. They want to learn from both aspects so that they can better understand and live in the moment of the experience. It is a difference between reading a book and jumping into the book to experience it firsthand. You will have a different perception and a different experience in both avenues. I hope this better helps you understand my meaning behind the difficulty of evil and explaining it. Why are you looking at me like that? Weirdo. Stop looking at me like that. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Janet, did I enjoy myself? I always enjoy myself over there. It's way better than here, I gotta admit. I am extremely stiff. Yeah, how'd you guys know about my hives? Yeah, I got hives. I don't know why, but it's everywhere. It just itches. It's like in my head, in my hair. It's just everywhere. How is my son? Oh, my son's good. He's good, Leo. Yeah. I was gonna put my hair up, but... Oh, you guys had fun? Really? Did she, Crystal? Oh, good God. She doesn't like being in the body. Ryan, I visit my son, mainly. Because he can't be here with me and Justin, so... I see that she wanted my glasses, because they were in my bag. And now they're on my desk, so... Yeah, I was there for that, Darcy. Actually, me and him were talking about Yvonne. That's why he commented. Mary used to come in with an accent, but she's been getting better at, like, not having to do that. So Mary didn't use her accent.
She did a little bit.
Oh, she did? Oh, because they told me she was getting better at not using it. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Oh, I think she doesn't know how to talk without her accent, so I think she comes off like a, well, as you put it, a robot. Because she's not using her accent.
Right.
So she doesn't, I think that's just her way of trying not to use it, maybe. I could feel her getting, I don't want to say tired, but almost like the body was tiring.
She did say at the end that the body was getting
Like tired,
It was
and
too much
she
for her
couldn't,
energy.
and I could feel she wasn't able to articulate anymore. Like it was starting to weigh on her, and she's like, yeah, I can't do anymore. Like it was like, I have to, you need to get back in here.
She did say that his body was getting too tired for her energy.
I have a feeling this isn't going to be the first time she comes. Like I'm okay with her coming in. It seems to be easier when I let her, but then when she goes out, I'm like, and I try to come back in.
You're a lot better than when you started out originally.
Yeah, I used to throw up. Well, I mean, it's like being on a roller coaster for 10 hours and then you step on ground. All you want to do is barf. You know what I mean? That's how it feels.
Like you've been in a twirling tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Darcy, you heard her accent? Yeah, Yvonne said she used a little bit of it. She doesn't, she has a hard time not using it. I don't know why she just doesn't use it, but I think she feels like they can't understand her if she uses it. Because it's a heavy, I don't want to say Hebrew because it's an old Hebrew accent, I guess, if you want to call it that. Somebody's making me really sick. A female. Really sick. But quick passing. Janet, she looks just like me. I mean, when you're looking at Mary, you're looking at, this is it. We are the same energy. But I pull her in. Well, I allow her to come in to talk to you guys because, well, one, she really enjoys it. But you guys have to understand, we are one and the same, her and I. It's just, I am trying to, I don't know how to explain this to you guys. Let me do it this way. I am so burpy, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is me. And this could be you, okay? All these like crystal pieces are the different parts of you learning. So this was my life as Lincoln. This was my life as Mary Magdalene. This was my life as Anne Boleyn. This was my life as Clyde, as in Bonnie and Clyde. I had a very low life as Clyde. This is my life as Mary Magdalene. They all are lives, but they're all me. And I can pull those parts of myself in to talk to you. Do you understand? I know it's hard for the physical to understand, but the spiritual understands that it can be separated in multitudes of learning. And I like to bring those different learnings to you guys sometimes to help you better understand. Okay? So I hope you can wrap your head around that. Okay, I have a female sick, quick passing. She's here to talk to her daughter. She says the one with dark hair. The one with dark hair. Dark hair. She also says the one with dark hair is trying to find herself. Feeling lost after I passed away. And for some reason, she keeps bringing up the color green. The letter C. And for some reason, the month of August seems important. I cannot stop burping, Mom. Oh my God, it's so bad. Okay, she keeps talking about crystals. So either she was into crystals or that might be where the C's coming in. Because she's all about the C, and then she keeps talking about this green color. Crystal Reckenbaugh. Your name just lit up in yellow. So that's telling me something's going on with this reading with you. Crystal, was your mom sick and then she had a quick passing? Okay. I was gonna say COVID because I kept feeling like, why do I feel like this is COVID? Okay, can you tell me what August is then, Crystal? I believe, Crystal, I think this is your mom. She has a mom vibe to her, and she also mentioned she's here for her daughter. So this is your mom then. Okay. And I was feeling like COVID, like sick, but quickly passed. And I didn't want to say COVID, but I knew it was COVID. I probably should have just said COVID. I feel like an idiot. But do you know what the green is in August? Let's just confirm some stuff first, Crystal, and I'll get her to talk. Can you tell me what the green in August is? You've been wearing it. Okay. I don't know why I kept feeling like black hair green. Like my shirt. Black hair green. Because she kept pointing out my shirt on me. And I felt like maybe she wasn't the one wearing it. But because as soon as I heard daughter, the one with dark hair, trying to find her way, feeling lost after I passed. And all of a sudden she put me in a green shirt. Okay. Okay. All right, good. Okay, then I'm very confirmed that this is her, Crystal. I'm going to address your question to her. Crystal, I'm going to kind of sum up what she's saying. Your path wasn't meant to go the way you think. I think a lot of people on Earth think that because someone passes, they have to be there, or they feel like they failed someone if they weren't there. No, that is your path. How it played out is how it was meant to play out. If it wasn't supposed to play out that way, it would play out another way. But because it played out that way is because it was meant to play out that way. She doesn't see you failing her. She doesn't see any of that. She sees more than you realize she sees in heaven. Okay? Brittany, thank you. It's very kind. When you're in heaven, there's a soul understanding. There's a soul awareness, and you are in the all-knowing, and you understand how all this works, and you know what was supposed to happen, what wasn't supposed to happen. And when you talk about failure and failing her, she just keeps shaking her head and saying, I wish she could see and understand what I know, because you weren't meant to. and she wasn't alone. As soon as her spirit eyes opened up, she saw them all, and she knew she was not alone. And to leave the body takes seconds. And you might be alone physically in a room, but within a matter of seconds, that room is completely filled, and you don't know who to run and hug first. Okay? Because they're all in the room as soon as your spirit eyes wake up and open their eyes. So I hope that brings you some clarity, and her wanting you to find your way now. So if you were there, you understand. You didn't fail her. Okay? She's showing me everything played out the way it was supposed to play out. And that crystal, that's what she's saying now. Everything played out the way it played out. She keeps repeating that nothing was their fault. To understand that her soul was simply done here, done learning. To allow her energy to elevate and to not feel sorrowful for her passing, because she embraced it and understands it now. She's joyful in the energy she's in now. And if she's in this joyful energy, she doesn't understand why everyone's sorry or sad. Because she's not in... If you guys had a choice between earth or heaven, which one do you really honestly, deep down, let's get honest here, would choose? You're not going to choose the one that brings you sorrow all the time and causes you problems and trauma. And yeah, you're going to leave some of your family, but you're gaining more family in heaven. And you know in the back of your mind, the family you just left is going to make their way there anyway. So, do you know? You know what I mean? Crystal, you are truly blessed. She was a good mother. Worked hard. I do see her working hard. I don't know what she's doing. She's running around a lot. I keep seeing running around and doing stuff. But she felt like, you know what, I think it's time. I'm just ready to go back. And a illness took her home. Crystal, everything that comes in your mind, she hears. So everything you're typing out, she knows what you're going to say before you type it out, because you're saying it in your mind. So you didn't even hit enter, and she's over there nodding, and I'm like, I don't know what she's nodding about. Then you must have hit enter, and I'm reading it, and now I'm understanding why she's over there sitting there nodding at me. So she's like, she knows. Yeah, and this won't be the last life you have with her, Crystal, either. You have lots more lives to learn from each other. This isn't the last. And yeah, it feels like Earth drags it out and just prolongs the learning here. But honestly, when you're in heaven and you look at an Earth life, it is like done and over in a flash. It goes so quick. I think that's it. But I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And next week, we're going to connect to spirits, see how many spirits come through. I don't know if Mary's going to come next week, or she might just take off and come the following week. But I just want to thank you guys for joining tonight. I had a blast. I'm sure you guys had fun learning and growing in the information that was provided for you today from Mary Magdalene. And I look forward to tomorrow releasing the card video for you guys to learn a little bit about your path in this week. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday and all the really cool things we're going to do on YouTube. I'm doing a lot of card readings that have to do with astrology, where I will do specifically your astrology sign for that month on YouTube. we won't be divulging it on Facebook. So if you want to be on YouTube with us, go grab your spot by subscribing and hit the little bell so you get aware of all the new videos coming out, and it gets sent to your email, and it lets you know, hey, Moon just posted a new video. So there you go. All right, guys, we had a blast. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Love you.